Okay, so tell me a little bit about the ranch. What kinds of animals were around there? And
Well, we always had milk cows, and Dad always had probably 30 or 40 head of sheep that he'd lamb
really?
out in the winter time. And we always had pigs, chickens.
How many acres?
Well, it was 160, but
Wow.
it wasn't farmable. There was probably only maybe 60 acres that you could farm. The rest was kind of on the hillsides and the area that we couldn't get water to either.
So where did Great Grandpa learn to ranch? Or learn to?
Well, his dad was a farmer. When they came from Utah in 1898, he was 8 years old, and he had older brothers, and they lived on the Hot Springs Ranch in Carey.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that was farming down there, and a lot of sub-water on that too. So he learned to do the animals.
And they did a little sheep herding as well?
Oh yeah. Everybody usually up there had a few sheep, and then there were several sheep men that Dad used to work for too that did help lamb in the winter time, and always milk cows. They'd have to put the milk on the old sleigh and take it in.
Really?
Because a lot of times they wouldn't plow the road up to the old ranch back then. And the older kids walked to school. I don't remember walking to school.
So
the bus came most of the time that I remember to get us. We got snowed in a time or two, but by then I think they were clearing the roads out because I was a lot younger.
And this is in Carey, Idaho, right?
Yeah.
Milking cows, and so do you sell the milk in town?
Yes, there was a cheese factory in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember the name of it?
Kraft Food Cheese.
Oh, it was like a craft company, so they just sell it to. It's like a factory.
He'd take the milk there in your big old milk cans, and they dump them off in these big old vats. And Donald ended up when he got married, he was working over there at the cheese factory. They had these big vats of milk and had these big things of stirring it, and they made cheese curds and cheese and everything. I'd only been in there a time or two. I remember delivering milk. Even after we moved to town, Dad kept a cow or two, and we'd put the can in the back of the car and just take it over there and dump the can.
Was your mom a good cook?
She cooked the basics.
What did she make?
Meat,
a lot?
Potatoes and gravy and vegetables. Very little dessert. Dessert was something special. Dessert a lot of time would be fruit. She canned a lot of fruit. Pears and peaches and cherries. And
from the trees?
Well, we didn't have them. We had these old guys, we called them the Jews. They came out in a big old...
You call them the Jews?
Jews. Because you Jew with them to get by your things. And they'd have fruit, so Dad would trade them the old sheep hides that when he'd kill sheep for us to eat, they'd keep the hide, and then they'd take the hides, and we'd get the fruit. Something to that nature.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
And where were they from, though?
I have no idea. I think they used to go down here in the Hagerman Valley and get the fruit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But that was a treat to have that.
Yeah, especially when we get it fresh.
Yeah.
But then Mom she didn't have no pressure cooker. It was open kettle, and she just cooked it in the open kettle and got the bottles hot and put it in and sealed it, and that was it. And we had to have a cellar clear over on the hillside because they had one close to the house, and water in the spring had come up, so the water level was too high. So Dad went clear around the pond and over on the hillside and dug back in there and made us a little cellar. And we had all our vegetables in the garden over there, and the fruit and stuff. And I don't know how she ever kept it. I don't know how many times she'd have to go a day if it was like us going to the pantry, because that old house, I don't know where she'd keep it at night to keep it from freezing. Because anything the tea kettle, if it was sitting on the stove, would have ice on it, and the next morning it'd get that cold in the winter. The ice bucket the water bucket would have ice in it. See, we had to go out and pump our water out of had a well out there.
Did you ever miss that?
Yeah,
it's so...
I loved it.
Yeah.
What
did you like
I would
about
take my kids back there for 1 week.
Why?
I just think that it'd be a real shocker to them. And I think we were happier than probably all the kids, all the little toys and things they have now. No big deal. Christmas wasn't a big deal, but
Yeah.
it was a big deal, but not like Christmas.
What was
is now.
so wonderful about it? Simple?
I never even saw Santa Claus till I started school.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. They had us all in the gymnasium,
Mhm.
and they'd had a little program and stuff, and they says, okay, now all of you, close your eyes, 'cause Santa's coming, and he's coming right down through the roof.
What did you think of that? Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Sure he is.
You're real
I didn't keep
skeptical.
my eyes closed either, but he come through the door. That's the first time I'd seen Santa Claus.
How old were you?
I was in the first grade.
Oh, okay.
I'd heard about it, but our Santa Claus was the mailman. Whenever he came 3 times a week, and that time when it get close to Christmas, I remember that all the rest of the kids was in school, and I'd have to go with Dad out with the team in the sleigh and go down in the field to the haystack and get hay about the time that the mailman should be coming.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think back now, that's when what little Christmas we had,
Yeah.
that's when it would get there. Now, where they ever hid anything in that little old house to keep us kids from finding it, I don't know. But when every room's cold except the kitchen, you aren't going to be snooping around too much.
Yeah.
So, but our Christmas didn't amount to much.